Am I the asshole for not fulfilling a foster kid's wish list? Wow, that title makes me sound bad. I picked a Christmas wish list from a foster child that had 2 items on it. A $60 pair of jeans and $200-ish sneakers. I was unable, financially, to get the shoes, or both, so I settled on getting the child the pair of jeans they requested. It has gotten back to me that upon receiving their gift, they are very disappointed that it is not an entire outfit. There is more to the story as to why I picked the one I did, but I'm trying to keep things anonymous. This list was not being picked by other volunteers and I picked it so the child would not go without a gift entirely. Am I the asshole for not fulfilling the list in full? Info. What agency approves a gift list with 2 items of $60 and $200? This is a flawed system. Yes, the kid will be disappointed, but if realistic expectations were set from the beginning, we would not be here. If you had the option to inform staff, case manager that only one of 2 gifts would be purchased and you chose not to, you added to this problem and disappointment. Nah, that being said, adding something else is always a good idea. I mean, what kid wants a pair of jeans for Christmas and just a pair of jeans? Ultimately, this is on the agency for not ensuring the child made reasonable requests in terms of the shoes, as it was unlikely they would get the shoes. But adding something cool to the jeans just makes the kid feel extra special. The kid is not the asshole for being disappointed. Of course the kid was disappointed. Info. What was the expectation here in terms of money? If you picked the tag that said $250 gift, and then spent $60, that would make you an asshole for ignoring the rules of the system. If you took part expecting to be given $50 gift lists, then it would seem reasonable to skip the gifts that were way over budget. If there was no mention of budget, then you should have spoken to the people running the exchange for their opinion regarding the fact that the requested budget was far more than you could afford, and ask whether they would prefer you to pick a different recipient within budget, or provide what you were able to. Did you donate money or did you go buy the actual preferred jeans in the correct size? I'll give you my hometown's version of this, and that's Clark Howard's Christmas Kids. Clark had a deal where every foster kid in my state gets to request 3 gifts, a $100, 50 Australian dollars, and a $25 gift. When you go on the website, you can select male or female, age, and county in the state, but you donate money to the website, theoretically for that kid, but it goes into a big pot and they buy the gifts for all the kids with the donation money. This also keeps the privacy of underage children. That's how these things should be done. The fact that a child was disappointed and someone let that news get back to you is not normal. Not the asshole. They are very disappointed that it is not an entire outfit. Neither is jeans plus sneakers. Is the expectation that if you take a wish list that you'll fulfill it? Was it reasonable for the child to think it would be fulfilled if selected? Am I the asshole for getting my sister chocolate for Christmas after she hasn't put any effort into my gifts? Throwaway because my siblings follow my main account. I, 18NB, am getting my sister, 15F, a chocolate box for Christmas this year because for years now she has not bothered with my gifts at all, Christmas or birthday. Usually she gives me stuff she's been gifted in the past like bath bombs or makeup, which I can't use due to skin irritation and also feeling gender dysphoria when I wear makeup. She is well aware of this as I politely tell her when I open the presents. She doesn't have a job and therefore no income, which she uses as an excuse despite the fact our parents give her quite a bit of money to buy people gifts for Christmas and birthdays. Last Christmas, she got our stepsister the dress and book she had asked for, whereas I got an eyeshadow palette that I had seen her using the week prior and a notebook I had given her for school which she hadn't used. I thanked her for it but later reminded her that I couldn't use the makeup. She shrugged and said, "Well, at least I got you something." What upsets me the most is our dad has a whole thing about us getting gifts for relatives that have a lot of thought and meaning. I say us, but it seems this rule only applies to me. I get her the things she asks for every birthday and Christmas. I pay attention when she mentions wanting something in passing and make sure to get it for her when her birthday and Christmas come up. She doesn't. A few weeks ago, I did my Christmas shopping and I knew she wanted 2 specific posters for her room, but decided because she has made little to no effort for me, I would get her a box of chocolates from Hotel Chocolat. I got a type of box she has said she likes in the past though, just because I didn't want to be an utter jerk. This evening, the 22nd of December, we were having dinner and my sister mentioned she was going out tomorrow to do last-minute Christmas shopping. I said, "Are you actually going to get me something you've never owned this year?" as a joke, which I realize I shouldn't have. She said, "What's that supposed to mean?" And I mentioned how she never puts effort into any of my gifts where I always do. Then I said, "Well, as I always did," which was a bit of a dick move on my part. She asked me what I meant and kept demanding to know what I got her for Christmas despite me telling her it would ruin the surprise. Our dad chimed in and demanded to know what I got her, so I said, "A chocolate box from Hotel Chocolat." She went off at me saying that she didn't want a chocolate box, She wanted posters and I responded, "You never bother with my gifts, why should I do the same?" My dad is saying I need to go out tomorrow and my sister is calling me selfish and ungrateful. I feel quite childish and have apologized to her, but she doesn't care. I just want to know, am I the asshole for getting her a chocolate box for Christmas? Not the asshole. Your dad is being hypocritical. My family is like this, always favoring my sister whenever I call her out for treating me badly. I don't speak to any of them anymore as an adult. Even though your comment was emotionally reactive, your action to give the chocolate is reasonable, especially because you still bought something new and something you remembered she liked. Don't get another gift and ignore their ridiculous comments. I'm sorry your sister is acting that way. Giving those posters at this point would be enabling her behavior to treat you badly and giving in to your dad trying to enable her and punish you for her bad behavior. Keep your head up, you're kind and it's okay to enforce boundaries. Not the asshole for getting her chocolate. But you should have kept your mouth shut during the discussion. Now you look like a spiteful person even though you're pretty justified, Imho. When someone treats you like less of a priority over and over again, take the hint they aren't going to just magically change if you point out their bullshit. They'll just gaslight you and you'll end up putting in more effort, which will be matched with even less gratitude on their part. The real question is, why didn't you just keep the makeup, bath stuff, and notebooks to re-gift to her right back? Return the chocolate, get yourself something, tell her to keep whatever she was going to get you. At this point it doesn't seem worth it to exchange gifts. Not the asshole. For whatever reason, though I believe her giving you makeup is a big hint, your sister doesn't care enough about you to bother with real gifts, so don't go out of your way to bother with hers. If your father thinks her actions are acceptable, then let him give her the gifts she wants. The inequality is real here and hurtful, so don't give either of them much of anything and don't let them steal your joy. Not the asshole. I'd be regifting her crappy gifts right back. She can't say they're rubbish because she's given them to you. Am I the asshole for telling my mom to stop letting my brother get away with stuff just because he's autistic? I, 18F, am the youngest out of 3 siblings. My oldest brother, 22M, has autism. He doesn't understand like everyone else does and is extremely smart in certain categories. Feelings are not one of them. He doesn't understand when he does something wrong, and when he doesn't get his way, things get out of hand. My father has been on my side for most of this. My brother, who we'll call Leo, always got his way. He has one cell iPhone, 3 iPads, a computer, a laptop, a PlayStation, Xbox, Wii, etc. I on the other hand have one iPhone and that's it. When he gets angry, he smashes and breaks his stuff. We have had to replace electronics more than I can count. I tell my mom not to give in, but she tells me off. She always has the same excuse. Your brother is autistic, he doesn't understand, or, when you grow up you can get a job and start a family, he can't. And yes, the family thing is true. But she shouldn't give in all the time. I tell her he's not going to learn or that he doesn't deserve it. I asked her for a monitor for my birthday and instead I got books. She made up the excuse that we didn't have the money, but the same day she gets him a new iPad. Which was over $1,500. I realized that that's the reason she said no, was so she could get him that on my birthday. Recently, my family has yelled at me for being inconsiderate and selfish for expressing how I feel. I don't know if I should stop trying to speak out and try to stop them from giving into his behavior. So, am I the asshole for wanting to be treated fairly? Your mother isn't doing him or the world any favors. Also make sure she doesn't plan on you being his caretaker after she is gone. You need to talk to your dad and make sure they have a plan in place, besides you, to take care of him when they're gone. Such as a group home or something. As an autistic person myself, you're not the asshole. I hope you can get out of there as soon as possible, genuinely. I also hope this holiday season brings you everything you want. 3. Stay strong. Not the asshole. It is parenting like this that gives autistic people a bad rap. Autistic does not mean incapable of understanding actions and consequences. And this kind of parenting is one of the reasons why so many autistic people fail to secure long-term employment or find themselves in jail. Not the asshole. Autistic AFAB person here. Funny how autistic women, AFAB people never get the, she doesn't understand and that's okay, pass. This is more about gender than autism. Your parents could have explained all these things to him. Since it doesn't sound like an intellectual disability is also an issue, AMD taught him how to be an independent adult. They are now harming his opportunities to live his best life. Not the asshole. This is when you start telling your parents that you will not be responsible for your older brother after they die. Your parents are under the impression that your brother will always be catered to by relatives when in reality it's done by them and just them. Make it clear that you have no intention of coddling your brother for the rest of your life. Graduate, leave and never look back. Good luck. Autistic people can be spoiled brats too. Not the asshole. Am I the asshole for buying my own condiment bottles after what my brother did? I, 24M, and my brother, 20M, live together in the same home. I'll save you the long backstory and just say that we live in our childhood home as roommates, we pay rent. Recently, an event occurred which sparked this whole issue. My brother was making a sandwich in the kitchen and I was passing by when I saw him. He finished spreading peanut butter, then stuck the knife into his mouth to lick it clean, before immediately putting it into the jelly. No, it was not fully clean, there was still peanut butter on it. Now I don't know about you but I personally was grossed out. The main issue I took most firmly is one that he's mentioned before, that he has herpes. I don't know the specifics and I never asked, but frankly as far as I remember he has mentioned in the past having it around his mouth and it only can be contracted via his mouth. When I saw him do the knife licking I immediately called it out, saying like, dude, you just licked the knife and stuck it in the jelly. With a sort of, oh come on, demeanor. His response was to say, what, it's not like you're gonna get sick, in his own joking, don't be a baby it's no big deal, way. For context, even if we buy our own groceries, there has never been this idea that we can't share stuff like condiments and sandwich stuff. Regardless, I sort of backed off from it since it was too late at that point. Fast forward a few weeks. I bought a mini fridge. I basically thought, oh hell yay, I can have snacks and sandwiches of my own in the middle of the night without ever having to leave my bed. Then comes an idea. A day after the PB&J incident, I noticed that the mayo jar clearly had mustard inside, like the knife that scooped it out was never cleaned off. As such, I thought to buy my own squirt bottles of mayo and mustard. I basically thought this could avoid contracting anything from him since, in my eyes, he doesn't seem to care. The other night I was cooking up hot dogs for myself with him in the kitchen, then took them back to my room, used my condiments, and came back. My brother reasonably asked, where did you get mayo and mustard from? I basically told him, remember the other night with the peanut butter? I bought my own stuff so you can keep those ones in the fridge and there won't be any problems. He argued again to say, dude, you're not gonna get sick from me, and I reminded him of what I saw him do, doing a little motion and exaggerating my voice. He seemed offended by that, quieting down and only saying stuff like, whatever, and, it doesn't matter. Looking back I wonder if maybe I was being a jerk. I'm starting to wonder if my brother thinks I'm treating him like he's a biohazard or something, and honestly I can't really figure out how to resolve this matter. He doesn't seem bothered by the whole matter as of now, but I do wonder if I'm being selfish, childish for how I'm going about this. So Reddit, what's the verdict? Am I the asshole? Had to remove context for character limit. Not the asshole. Mythbusters did a test on double dipping. Really nasty. Ask him, is it okay if I spit on your food? As that is effectively what he's doing. To make the point, next time he makes a sandwich just go over and drool on it. When he gets upset, look him in the eye and say, what? It's not like you're going to get sick? Come on, it's just like you licking a knife and using it on something else. Exactly like it even. Not the asshole, significant other not the asshole. Mediums like mayonnaise are perfect little petri dish environments for bacteria to thrive. I'd be thoroughly grossed out at the cross-contamination between different condiments too. Husband used to leave traces of Vegemite in the honey, and if you've ever bitten into a slice of toast expecting buttery sweetness and got salt and malt instead. Not the asshole. Double dipping is icky. Totally fine to keep your stuff separate. If you're worried about making him feel insecure over the herpes thing then just explain that you don't like double dipping. It gives you the ick the same way some people can't stand the word, moist. Not the asshole. It's icky when anyone gets their saliva on communal food items, but throw in oral herpes and it's just flat out disgusting. Disclaimer. I do not know how easily herpes spreads, but as a pregnant woman knowing that someone with herpes can kill a newborn with nothing more than a kiss to the baby's head, I would take no chances. Not the asshole. I'm sorry, even if your brother didn't have herpes, that's nasty. If he doesn't seem bothered by it now, just keep doing what you're doing. If he brings it up again just remind him of your reasons. You don't have to do something you're uncomfortable doing. Not the asshole. Your brother is a biohazard. He has herpes and even if he didn't, that's just nasty. It disturbs me that he doesn't care about others possibly getting sick. I would have reacted the same as you did. I would go a step further and put a lock on your fridge. He's 20 and immature. He might go into your fridge one day when you're not there and contaminate your food. Just because. It doesn't hurt to be extra careful.